You're listening to 102.7 Chop FM, and this is ArtsTalk. Good evening. You're listening to ArtsTalk on 102.7 Chop FM. I'm Dave Peters.
And I'm Taylor Koss.
And this show is dedicated to seeking out and talking to the artists of Newmarket. Not just musical artists, although we always have plenty of those, but artists practicing across all disciplines, both amateur and professional. If you'd like to appear on this show, if you're in the arts, then there are a couple of ways you can contact us. Taylor?
You can look us up on Facebook at ArtsTalk Radio and message us there. You can check us out on YouTube, ArtsTalk Radio, message us there, or you can email
Newmarket Arts Council at gmail.com. And don't forget to tune in every Wednesday at 5:45 p.m. to hear good music and to find out what's going on in the arts in Newmarket. Our guest tonight is Evan Archer from the band Caym, or are we calling it Caym Decatur?
No.
Caym
Decatur. Come on, we went over this before, man.
Literally just went over. For those of you who weren't listening off air, we've been working on the pronunciation of this name.
It's tricky,
and
okay?
of course I bombed it. Caym.
Caym.
Or Decatur, or Caym Decatur?
Caym is what the CD we're listening to. Like, we'll be playing the songs off tonight. That's all Caym.
All Caym.
We did an album with Gojira in New York. All this new stuff is going to be Decatur material.
Decatur. So
yeah.
you're going to change the name?
We're changing the name, but really it's a totally new band.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a completely different band.
Cool.
New members, new sound.
All the songs are new.
All the songs are new.
Nice.
Yeah.
Written together, you said?
Yeah.
So welcome to the show. Sorry for mispronouncing the name.
It's okay.
Let's talk a little bit about you. Are you from the Newmarket area? How do you know Taylor?
I live in Newmarket. I don't know.
Didn't we go to high school together?
No, definitely not.
We
know actually that you're like half right. We did not go to high school together, but I know.
We have the same high school friends.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I met you like 3 years ago or something like that. Four years ago.
So, but you did go to high school in Newmarket.
Yeah.
At which high school?
Sir William Mulock.
Sir William Mulock. Did you?
But we didn't. Yeah, I went there in grade 11.
We weren't
I went there in grade 11. I graduated from Sir William Mulock.
Yeah, and I went there in grade 9. So you're right. My bad.
And are you still living in town, or did you move up?
I'm in Newmarket now. Yeah.
Well, good for you.
Yeah.
The hop in town in Newmarket.
It's okay. It's not bad. I feel like I'm 26 years old. I kind of feel like old when I go out in Newmarket. Like I feel like way older than all the other. Like I go out and it's like I'm not gonna get into details here, but I don't know. I just feel a little older than everybody else now. Like when I'm out with my friends, I'm at some bar. It's all like 20-year-olds, 19-year-olds.
Yeah.
Oh, break after. Good.
So so you're living in Newmarket. That's awesome. Do you guys? Is any other members of the band in Newmarket?
No, everybody. Jay lives in. We all rehearse in Toronto, but Jay's where? Jay's in Mississauga. Tiny is in Oakville.
There's someone named Tiny in that band because I don't think anyone looks tiny.
He's a small dude.
Really?
He's a small dude.
Oh man, I only thought I saw.
No,
they're saying this is a big metal guy.
Tiny's a big boy.
Okay.
No, but these are not that picture right
right.
there. That's not the same members.
Oh my God.
But yeah, Jay's in Mississauga. Tiny's in Oakville. Sorry, I guess his real name is Kyle Clark. Nobody calls him that.
Tiny.
But and Steve is in Brampton. So we're all kind of
brutal. So
we're all spread out, but we all get to Toronto. Like, there's no problems with band practice, any of that.
Nice.
Right?
How did you find each other with living in such different places?
Oh man, I think we all sort of everybody knew who each other was, but I originally I was just looking for people on Kijiji, or what's the other one, Craigslist, and then I met up. I met up with so many different people, jamming with so many different people, and then I got a call from Jay one day, and then. I met him at Steele's in the 404 at some grocery store, and he gave me this CD that's in your hand right there, and some tabs to learn, and I was like, okay, let's do this, right? And then I listened to the stuff. I was like, whoa, I'm going to try out for these guys, right? And then boom, it's been that was over 2 years ago, and it's been nonstop gigs, just nothing but stepping up, moving forward for the last 2 years. Good times, very good times.
Were they established when you joined the band? Were they
They had been established, but there were so many different member changes, so it was always they'd take a step forward, 2 steps back, kind of thing. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, it's I came around, and then when I came around, the drummer that we had at that point, he left, Tyler Reiner. He left. And then there was a few months where there was just we were looking for some people, and then we found Tiny. We found a few other drummers before we have our current guy Steve. But
drummers.
Yeah, drummers, man. Drummers.
Replaceable.
Dave's a drummer.
Steve. Okay, Dave's drummer. Steve is not replaceable. Steve, if you're listening to this, man, you're not replaceable.
Woo, Steve.
Yeah, Steve.
Very cool though. That's awesome. Yeah. All right. So.
Why don't we play a tune now?
Yeah.
What are we gonna hear first?
Oh, let's hear some. What's this? This one is one of my favorite ones to play live. Days of Darkness. Day of Darkness.
Day of Darkness from Caym on 102.7 Chop FM. Caym with Day of Darkness from 102.7 Chop FM. This is ArtsTalk. I'm Taylor Koss.
I'm Dave Peters.
And we are in conversation with two of the members of Caym. I guess not necessarily Caym, the Caym in transition. But we're happy to welcome Jay Sarrazin to the show. Jay, good to see you.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
Thank you so much for coming from the far reaches of Schaumburg.
Saga, Saga, Oakville, yeah, it's far.
Did you even know Newmarket existed?
Not until I found this guy. Off
we literally were just talking about that.
Yeah.
We met in a shopping mall at Steele's and 404. That place is going to be legendary one day.
Oh, yeah.
Steele's and 404, people.
Yeah.
Food basics.
California.
Get your stuff.
We're talking to Evan Archer and Jay Sarrazin. We didn't really get into the history of the band. Everyone was just talking about how there's been quite a lot of turnover.
Yeah.
And we assume that's because you're hard to get along with.
That's definitely.
I did not say that. Those words did not come out of my mouth.
Off the air.
Those words did not come out of my mouth.
I have been known to be hard to work with for sure. I'm pretty serious and strict with my band. So
that's good though.
Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah, we I spend a lot of time doing a lot of stuff as an individual, and so I've learned a lot of stuff by just going out of my own comfort zones, and I try to bring everything that I learned from the other people that are above me and bring it to my own table and to my own band.
That's what we were just talking about. The great artists. What is it? Great artist
Bow, great artist Steele.
We were talking about how David Bowie does. That's who
I heard that quote from Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh yeah.
I think.
There you go.
He thinks he's not sure.
He thinks he's not too sure. He's like, oh, whatever.
He might have
Sharon.
Yeah.
How could you understand? So
he's a man. I love Ozzy.
Boy born and raised. You always been from the West End?
No, I'm actually from Montreal.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Which is kind of I think why we're like the metal root came from. Montreal is really big in the heavy metal scene, so a lot of my friends and when I was growing up was like, even though I wasn't really listening to metal at the time, the culture was there a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did you start playing?
Metal? I started
guitar.
I started playing guitar when I was probably like 7 or 6, but just
pretty early.
Acoustic. Yeah, I was playing for like a children's liturgy at a church with my parents. My parents were very big church goers.
Yeah. From that to
this, yeah. Both still positive though. So
was guitar sitting around the house or something?
Yeah, basically just learning stuff from the old man and my mom. They both play guitar, and both my brothers play guitar. So we all kind of just picked it up and went along with it, and had
Music
some fun.
in the family.
And then when I kind of went to my preteen era is where I started to kind of really switch into the heavier stuff.
What about you, Evan? When did you pick music up? How old were you?
I heard Ozzy Osbourne probably the first time at 12 years old, and then I had a bass lying around the house. I owned a bass, and I thought I was good.
How old are you? 12, 13 at that time or something?
When I started playing...
when you're like a bass laying
Yeah, it would have been 12 years old.
Okay.
12 or 13 years old. And yeah, I thought it was amazing, but that was not the case at all. Not even slightly the case.
So you heard an Ozzy album?
No More Tears, Ozzy Osbourne. That was my stuff right there. It was whoa, man, whoa. That's what I want to do. But what was I? Yeah, what else? No. So and then 16, I bought a guitar, my first actual electric six string electric, and then been playing electric since then. Honestly, didn't even start taking it seriously until 21. I'm gonna say.
When you say seriously, you mean taking some
playing with a metronome?
Learning how to count.
Yes.
Okay, that's important. That matters. And do you write, Evan? I'm sure.
I write. I think I focus a little bit more on leads, but I definitely write riffs.
Do you play lead guitar in this band, or?
Yeah, we both do. We both share leads.
How many guitar players are there?
Guy. Two.
Okay, I wasn't sure there was 3 or not.
No. Tiny plays bass.
Yeah,
cool.
but he's kind of like a guitar player. Plays a lot of lead bass.
Yeah. Well, he does play guitar too. He is.
True.
Yeah. So
I think he started as a guitar player, playing an acoustic.
Back in the day, yeah.
So when did Caym first form, Jay?
We first formed in 2006.
Okay,
so it's been around for 10 years.
Yeah. Congratulations!
Thank you.
That's awesome.
What's the name mean?
You know what? It was just it was just like a demon name from something just like that classic, explanation. Just some demon name on the computer I found at 4 a.m. Partying.
Demon of something cool? Or
yeah, he's the president of hell in German mythology.
Is that for real?
Yeah, and he guards the gates of hell. Cool. And it's said that in this legend that he will eat your flesh so that the devil can judge you accurately.
Wow.
See your soul correctly. Yeah. So I was just 20 years old and thought it was cool, which now I hate explaining it because it sounds so death metal, and we're not a death metal band, you know. And it's just so it really wasn't us now, especially. So you know.
What kind of metal are you guys? You know how
Oh
people
man,
classify,
good question.
like,
Very good
I
question.
always answer that question with we're just metal.
Yeah, straight up
Okay.
metal.
Well,
we all look up to like the straight up metal bands, like the Metallicas, the Panteras.
We all
Right.
have different influences too, you know.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Evan's a big '80s influence guy, and our bass player's like super new school, like the Kill Switch era
Okay, yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
and our drummer's more into like the extreme, like,
the super
power
heavy.
metal, yeah, like the Crimson Shadow, which
Whatever-
is- whatever's
whatever's
a
very
billion-
technical.
yeah, and
Yeah.
a billion miles per minute.
Good though for
Yeah.
a drummer,
And I
I'd
listen to
say.
like Michael Jackson, so it's a different.
We've been known to listen to Paul Abdul as well.
We do.
There's a story
Straight
there.
up, no doubt.
That's
That's what amazing that
That's
you
the
just started
song,
singing
yeah.
that song. There's a story behind that song.
Yeah.
It's not going to be going
gonna
down
go
on
on
air.
It's not a radio
No,
show,
It's not a
you know?
radio
It's not a
friendly.
radio
No,
story,
sorry,
radio
no. So
Well, I know a lot of metalheads though that listen to a lot of metal music and groove
Oh,
yeah,
music
that's
and
right.
chill music.
You can't listen to
Our-
metal all day, every day.
our tour van is not metal.
No, there's
It's-
no metal
We're
policy.
listening to like old school rock
Oh,
or
yeah.
just like pop and rap sometimes.
That's
like we
awesome.
listen to absolutely everything, and like we embody a lot of metal every day, all the time. So it's nice to kind of get that break, you know.
It
Yeah.
is. And I
It's
think
like we
you
all
learn
listen to
something,
metal
too.
on our own
Yeah,
time,
that's
and then in the van, I don't know. It's like if somebody puts on metal, it's like next song. You know?
Cool. Open minds. It's a good thing.
So this transition from Caym to Decatur, explain that to us. So you had some band turnover. You had
A lot of band turnover, yeah. In the 10 years that Caym's been around, I think we've had about 25 to 30 members
Oh my
come
God.
through. Whether
Oh,
that
man.
being like long-term guys or guys who came in just to help us out for a bit. But there's been a significant amount of people who have played for this band. And
you're the common element across it all.
I am the common element, yeah, across it all. And even when Evan joined about 2 years ago, I was like still in the focus of continuing it as Caym because our drummer at the time, Tyler, was a long-standing member with me. We had been together for like 5 years. So, and the guitar player that we had before, Gord, before Evan, his name was Gord, and he was with me for literally since the beginning. We made it together. So, I mean, I still felt like we were like an actual band at that time. We were just getting a new guitar player, you know, and I had already been balancing between many different bass players. That was always like our problem of finding a bass player, you know.
Yeah.
So, it once Tiny came in, I think the dynamics changed a bit, and our other members wanted to do different things, but I really was trying to get more into it and more serious about it and do more stuff. So our drummer ended up leaving, and then it was really just me left.
So remember that was a big deal when he left.
It was a huge deal, yeah, because we had really built a lot of our notoriety as Caym came from the era of him being a part of that, you know. So,
Can you talk about why he left? Did he?
You know, he just wanted to pursue different things in life and like achieve a couple of goals in life that it's tough to do as a musician when you really want to make it. It's very daunting physically, emotionally, and financially.
For sure.
So, you know, it's one thing at 21 years old, 22 years old, but when you start to hit 29, 30, 31, 32, you start thinking, I guess, in different mentalities, you know, and everybody has a different goal for their personal life and their musical life and so on and so forth, you know. And we had done a lot of great things together, and so, I mean, I think he was happy with where he was at that point.
So it was a friendly breakup.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We're still really good friends. Like I'll be in his wedding party coming up in September.
Oh,
So
nice.
we're very close. Most of the guys are very close. But switching into the Decatur stuff was, you know, once Evan came in and our new bass player Tiny came in, we were kind of left without a drummer, but our dynamic was different. The stuff we liked was different. We started writing different, you know. And the new album, even though we were recording it for Caym, was really evolving into something that was bigger and better than that, you know, was something that we were all contributing to, we were all really involved in and focused on. And I think just that evolution made sense for us to be something different as opposed to continuing down a path of road that I had been on,
Yeah.
to now start a road that we will begin together, you know.
It shows that you're open-minded that you're going to even allow that to happen. I mean,
Yeah,
fair to say that you're the
definitely.
principal songwriter. Would that be fair to say?
I think that's fair to say, yeah, I guess. But I mean, it's it really takes a full group of guys to write a song, and not just guys who are playing in the band, but even on the new record, who Joe Duplantier, the singer from Gojira, he's producing our new record.
That's
Even
crazy.
him, having his involvement, and the engineer Johan Mayer and our another engineer Taylor Bingley, who's also a good friend of mine, having them in the studio and working with such huge bands, it gives a great insight to your songs and where you are, and some perspective from outside. So we, even in the studio, when we were recording the album, we were growing more than what we had brought. We had brought a unique piece of music to this studio, and then it just became even more of a different evolution when we were there. So
very cool.
It just made so much sense for us to start a new life as a group together, and start showing people, because again, we the lot of the Caym stuff I did a lot of the writing for, and this was the first time that a lot more hands were involved in the process of it for me. So
Caym, you were doing more of the arranging?
Almost everything, really just arranging everything and writing all the riffs and bringing it to the table, and kind of...
You had like an idea of what you wanted to hear from everyone.
Which I still have in Decatur, but it's nice now for me because I have other guys like Evan and Tiny and Steve.
Yeah, like we all contributed to the songs
Yeah.
in some way or another.
Yeah,
you
like
know?
So Jay will bring a riff in, or bring a lyric
Yeah.
idea, and
I usually bring a skeleton
one song.
into the group, and then we all kind of just like, we like this, we don't like that.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
kind of tell me what they're feeling, what I brought, and then that's how it kind of starts to become everybody's. Well, like Steve starts to play different drums than we thought I had in my head, but it sounds cooler. Or then Evan brings in a riff to play over what I'm doing, or back what
There's
I'm
one
doing.
song that we wrote completely backwards. That like we started from
the very
the
last
very
riff,
end
yeah.
to the I brought in
Tiny,
a riff that
yeah.
everyone was like, okay, like we like that, we can work with that.
Yeah.
And it was actually hard. It was
It's
hard to
hard,
write
yeah.
that one.
Yeah.
Shatterproof.
Yeah, it would be a good. Yeah, it's that.
Oh,
you
is
know,
it from the new album?
from our new album.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So when is that coming out?
Fall.
Fall.
Yeah.
And can I ask, how did you get connected to that? Like when Evan said you guys were going to New York, and how do you say it? Gojira?
Gojira.
I've heard of that band before, and I'm not a huge metal. Like I don't know that much about it, so I was like, I know that band. Like
Yeah, no, they're
congratulations.
awesome.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
crazy.
I've known of them for a while now. So
Same,
when I got the phone call, like, yeah, we're going to record, I was like, whoa.
Like running around the house screaming, right?
Pretty
So
much
excited.
naked.
No, not naked. Not a happy. Going to New York.
So when were you guys in New York? Was that last year?
February.
February,
And then Jay went
I went
back.
back for vocals in March. So we were there for about a month together,
Cool.
and then came back, and then I went there for 10 days, and just slept on the studio floor and recorded
Yeah.
the rest
What
of
an
it.
We had
experience.
what's that thing called? Oh, what's it called?
Debt.
No, debt. Oh man, so much
lots of
debt.
that. Yeah.
you financed that whole thing yourself?
We all just worked
Yeah.
jobs and put money
Wow.
aside and paid for it cash out of pocket.
Wow.
We're all responsible young adults.
We were not very responsible, but
Can,
it was.
uh,
It
Don't work
turned
Sounds
day
like a fun
jobs.
time.
It was
though, right?
it was insane, yeah. We're
bet
still
you were.
recouping from it, really.
And how did you get into, how'd you get connected? Are you friends with the producer? Or?
Well, when it's like a kind of a long thing. Like when Caym was, at its earlier peak with Tyler being in the band. Tyler's dad is Rob Reiner, who's the drummer from a Canadian metal band called Anvil.
Oh my, okay, I was like, I know that name.
So
I met
That's
the son.
crazy.
yeah,
Oh, so
Tyler.
you met Tyler Reiner then?
Yeah,
he
yeah.
used to
Oh,
be the
that's
drummer of
crazy.
Yeah, the
Caym.
gig that we played at the Roxy in Barrie, they were the headliner.
What's his band?
I've forgotten the name.
What
now.
year? When was this?
Not
This
Caym.
past-
Was it
this
Caym?
Yeah,
No,
that was
no, no.
that was us. I
2-3
think.
months ago?
Oh,
Oh
it's
no,
Caym.
that wasn't it.
Is he
no.
playing in a
Yeah.
band now, Tyler?
No, but he was probably there because he lives in
He's a good
Barrie.
player, and
He's
fast feet.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
And a nice guy, so we were
Yeah,
out
he is.
back, and he was
Yeah.
telling me his dad is...
Rob Reiner.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So him being my drummer, I ended up getting a job working for Anvil. I was guitar teching Lips and doing all of Lips' stuff, the singer, right?
Too much.
So that's kind of where I kind of got my start. And my friend Taylor that I was talking about earlier, who helped us with this new album, was tour managing Anvil at the time. And we were a really tight crew. It was like me doing all the guitar and bass teching, Tyler doing all the drum teching, and then Taylor tour managing the whole thing, and then the three of us doing all the odds and ends merch and doing, like, we were working not 24 hours a day, basically, just the three of us. But we were a really solid team. And Taylor got a call with the offer to go to Gojira. So he ended up becoming the tour manager for Gojira. And, like I said, we became such good friends while touring, and we had worked a lot together. And I had kind of, you know, when you get to a certain level, like that level, you know, it's hard to kind of vouch for someone to come up to that level, you know. So it took a while. It took about 5 years of him while he was working there and me working with them and trying to do stuff for them whenever they came to town or help him or whatever. And just over time, he realized how much dedication I had put of my life into it. And became just like that guy to say like, yeah, I'm gonna be there for you, like whatever you need, like I'll pull the door open, I'll, you know, and he, you know, he did. He delivered. So when we went to do the album, we really wanted to deliver and show Gojira and the camp there that my friend Taylor had stuck his neck out for the right reason, you know.
Yeah.
And it turned out in an amazing way. Joe was super happy with the album, even singing on it at parts.
Really?
So, yeah.
Oh,
so there's some
really
Joe on
cool.
there. Yeah,
That's very cool.
yeah. So it was an amazing experience for all of us. And I'm, you know, it takes years and years and years to get those connections, but it was a long
cliché is
time.
paying your dues, right? It sounds like
It really is. Like, I mean, it sounds cliche, like you said, but it's the truth, you know. Like, if you really want to become a musician, just go broke, man, and go out there and just eat it. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, I was making very, very, very small amount of money, less than you could even imagine, less than you could eat on to live.
Well,
you know.
I mean, I don't want to make the show about Anvil, but
Of course
the,
not,
the
yeah.
documentary
Is insane.
I haven't seen it, but that's how I know of that band.
It's sad.
It's very sad.
It's sad.
Because they don't get
It's
enough
a wake-up
fall.
It's real.
It was a wake-up call
It's
for a lot
real.
of people.
Yeah, it's brutally real.
It's 100% real.
Yeah.
And
I
it is a great film for the fact
Yeah.
that it's real. But you come away from that with a really kind of a downbeat feeling, even
Yeah.
though at the end, you know, they're back in
Yeah,
Japan
they
and they're
persevered and
back
all
touring.
that.
Yeah.
But
It
no,
is a good
I
story
remember
of
watching it.
perseverance.
I remember watching that movie with a friend, and he's like, "Man, I had no idea." That's like a lot of people think it's like, "Oh, you got a record out. Oh, you're a millionaire."
Yeah.
So far from the truth.
No.
Even
so
us,
you
you know?
see in your 50s and 60s still grinding and grinding and grinding.
Yeah.
That's
All these bands from the '80s now, they're playing like like Jimmy's Rib Joint.
Yeah.
You know.
Just play.
You know.
Even us coming home from New York, some people were saying different things to us, like, "Oh, like congratulations, like you made it."
Yeah, I know. I was like,
We're like, no, like
no. I'm sorry if I
more
gave you that
broke than
impression.
ever. We're way further down than we've ever been.
Yeah, they don't
you know?
understand. If the record does well, you
Then-
might make it. You
yeah.
might make it if the label doesn't take everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had people on the show who've had not one but two recording contracts and done national tours paid for by
Oh, yeah.
record labels.
Yeah.
And again, you would think you sign that first record deal and they finance a
Not
national
so.
tour. You think, here we go.
Get some
Make
platinum
it
selling
as a rock
albums.
star.
You
Still working a day job.
you do live the rock star life, but at the end of the tour, the bill comes in,
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
bill is normally in tens of thousands. So as an artist, it's hard to pay that down. You know,
It is.
an album is one of those things. You know, a record label will find a band and put you in and spend $50,000 right out the gate, and then you're just immediately before you've begun, you're already 50 in the hole. You know.
Because you have to pay it back, right?
Yeah,
that's
it's all
what I've
it's all
They
heard.
give
gotta
you-
get, and they won't make you pay it right then and there. They'll say, "Don't worry, like we'll just
Yeah.
own you for the next 20 years," and that's it, man.
Sad.
Enjoy the road. You know, you'll be in a bus, but that'll cost you $40,000 by the end of the
Yeah,
tour.
it was like I started to realize like a lot of my favorite bands they work day jobs when they're not on tour.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
and it
the
was
truth.
kind of when I found that out. I was like, oh man, like it's okay then. Like it's not bad. You know, if
Yeah,
you have to
well,
work a
it's
day
kinda
job
like
and
guys
do
playing
music.
CFL, right? Or even
Yeah.
back in the these are guys that make a bit of money as a pro ball player, but
and
they're-
then yeah,
they're
they got to
working
go
in
and
the
do
off-season,
something
right?
during the off season.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So, I mean, and that's noble. Nothing wrong.
You
with
know
it.
No.
who I know about? I just read an article. The keyboard player of Cradle of Filth. She works at the Atria in Oshawa. She's
Yeah,
like the
she-
boss,
yeah.
right?
We
Like,
know her,
I
yeah.
heard that and was like, how is like a Cradle of Filth member?
No, I
laughing,
know,
but,
I know.
Like, yeah, it's the way it is.
Some
right
bigger
now.
bands, like well,
Some
not
of the
like-
biggest.
That's a big
Some of the
band,
biggest.
right?
Cradle of
Jeff
Filth.
Waters from Annihilator is selling off his car and
Oh
stuff
my
to
God.
make
Or even
money. Yeah, you
like
know
when I
what
saw the
mean?
Lamb of God
It's
documentary,
tough.
like when the whole thing with Randy. I don't know how well you guys know.
I don't
Lamb
know
of-
anything
okay.
about, but tell us. Let's hear it.
You want to hear the story?
Is it a long
No,
one?
I'm not gonna. No, I'm not gonna go into the whole thing. But yeah, no, like they're not making millions off of what they're doing.
No.
You
That's
know?
crazy.
They're doing well for themselves, but they're not.
I mean, there
You
are
know.
bands making money. Don't
Sure.
get it. Yeah, you know, like it's they're the guys at the top. They're
Yeah.
making money. You
Metallica.
know? But I mean, there's such a small percentage of those bands that are really making a substantial amount of money, and it's kind of a jump. There's not really like levels. It's either you don't really make too much
Yeah.
or you make a ton of money. You
Don't
know.
make a ton.
It doesn't
Yeah.
seem like there's a lot of new bands that are making
No,
that much money. It
I
seems
know.
like the same kind of, not recycled.
I feel
but
like,
a
you
little
know,
bit,
that's
like-
it's also partially, I think, with the music business, you know, like when you have someone like Metallica who's bringing in, you know, 50,000 kids every city that they go to, that's much more money for a record label to bank on than a kid like us who they don't know what you're going to do or who's going to adapt to it, you know.
And plain and simple, nobody's buying music.
Today.
You know,
That's kinda
nobody
true,
buys
yeah.
music.
Not
I'm
the same
guilty of
way,
this.
yeah,
You
no.
know,
We are all guilty of it.
I'm
so-
guilty of
Yeah,
that.
concert
you know?
tickets, so and I guess
Of
that's
course,
Yeah.
concert
same.
tickets.
Yeah.
And like I like
Like
to
I buy
buy
songs.
merch.
I buy
Yeah,
like
merch.
individual songs
I feel
off
like
iTunes.
that's the
But-
best. If you really want to support music, go to a show and buy the merch, you know.
directly from
But
the band.
I'll also say that Iron Maiden doesn't need you to go to a show and buy a shirt.
Yeah, go
but,
to the-
you know, like the Big Dirty needs you to, or Sledgehammer needs you to, you know. Or
Sledgehammer.
people like these bands
our
who are
friends.
not big and local dudes. That's the shows you should be going to.
Yeah.
Exactly.
exactly.
Oh yeah,
So,
totally.
you know, that's what I feel that's what I feel is what's missing in music today is in the 80s when Metallica and Megadeth and Slayer and all these bands were coming up, the scene was to go to the show.
Right.
It didn't matter who was playing the show. You went Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday,
Yeah.
you're at this place because that was the
That was
scene.
the place to be.
That's what you were doing.
Right.
It used to
Today-
be even like that. Like even in Newmarket, I remember like
There were shows
what's that place
Same
called?
with Mississauga
Yeah.
back in the
What's
day.
that place
but-
called? Like down the street from here.
down the street
It's,
from here.
now it's a skate park, but that used to be the place to be. Like Friday,
The
Saturday
youth
nights.
center?
The youth center. Yeah.
Yeah, there was punk shows back
Yeah,
there,
back in-
and
back
there
in
was
the day.
there was a place called what's it called? The Hound and the Heather used to have. Anyways, there was a bunch of old punk shows in Newmarket, but that kind of died down.
Yeah,
But
no,
you're
it's not.
that now
Exactly.
it's a little down, you know.
Yeah.
In
Especially
1999 or 2001, you're still the music scene on the internet hadn't exploded to the
Right.
level
There
that
was
it
only
is
like
today.
30-second clips online.
Yeah,
you couldn't download
you know,
anything.
you had
and,
to have a serious computer, or you wait 4 hours to get the
Exactly.
music. You know what
Dial
I mean?
up.
Like, yeah.
Oh my
so,
God.
so now it's like in the click of a hand, you can have whatever you want. You know, like
Yeah.
even
Cell
like your
phone.
people are live streaming off Facebook now, live shows.
So the good news is people all over the world can hear your music.
That
The
is
bad
good
news. It's
news.
hard to monetize it, right? It's
Yeah,
like-
and you get mixed in with 10 million
Yeah.
people doing the same thing you're doing. It's hard to see where the focus is with so much white noise, right?
Right. You're listening to Arts Talk on 102.7 Chop FM. We're in conversation with Jay Sarrazin and Evan Archer from Caym, now called Decatur,
Decatur.
Yeah.
which we will discuss in a minute.
Yes.
But let's hear a tune first. We have Willow Farm lined up here. What's the story on Willow Farm?
Willow Farm is just an aggressive song that we had put together. It's actually about a buddy of mine that I wrote. It's kind of like almost just like a pump him up. You know, he was a good buddy of mine who was like really supporting the band a lot at the time. So I told him I'd write him a song.
Oh,
So I wrote him a song,
nice.
yeah.
All right, this is Willow Farm by Caym on 102.7 Chop FM.
Let's
Caym with Willow Farm on 102.7 Chop FM. This is ArtsTalk. I'm Taylor Koss.
I'm Dave Peters.
And we are in conversation with Caym. No, with Decatur.
With
What should we do
Decatur,
with this?
yeah, we're
I don't
gonna-
even know. At the time being, we
the
are still
funeral is-
Caym.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
the funeral is
funeral is
August
August
6th. Be
6th,
there,
yeah.
be
There's
square.
a funeral
Yeah.
August. Is it a show?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, we
well,
haven't released too much of it yet.
We're all gonna die. You know?
We're gonna
Oh.
have a lot of information coming on that very soon on our
Cool.
Facebook. But
What's your
yeah.
Facebook link? How can people find
It's
you online?
facebook.com/KM Music. You can check us out there.
Caym spelled C-A-Y-M.
Correct. Yeah. And yeah, funeral August 6th for the I guess.
So you're going to retire that name.
Yeah.
But you're still going to play the tunes? Is still
No.
Caym?
No.
you're-
This is it.
It's
So
done.
we're on.
Delete the
Yeah, it's a totally different band.
Yeah.
Totally
we're
new
we're
band.
we're not really. A lot of people are asking us why we're changing our name, but we're just saying
We're changing the band.
Changing a new band. Yeah, we're a new
the band.
band.
So
yeah.
you're excited. You're not like a little nervous about that transition.
I'll miss
I was-
playing the Caym songs.
Oh yeah.
But
For me, for sure, yeah. I've been around the entire country playing these songs, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and I have fans that love these songs and come out for it, you know. So it's hard for me, you know.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
I think that there's no, you know, like if you can't get past what was before, you'll never grow in the future, right? So
It's a good attitude to have. Growing is important.
it's the most
Yeah.
important, yeah. You
You
gotta
become Axl Rose otherwise.
uh-oh.
if I got his bank account, it's not too
Yeah,
bad, you know.
that's true.
You know. But yeah, no, I don't want to be Axl Rose.
Yeah, you're very impressively open-minded about this transition.
You know what? It's like I think it's. I'm not sure why, to be honest with you. I wish I could give you like some awesome answer, but it's just I think I'm ready for something new. You know, I'm
That
ready.
is an
I'm
awesome
ready.
answer.
Yeah, you know,
You
I'm
know?
ready. I'm ready to be in something with 4 individuals who are all ready to go the same distance and the same length. You know, I've never had that really before. Like I've had guys that were serious, you know, but like. At this age, it's different. You know, it's again, it's not 21 years old anymore, and you know, all these guys who left the band are left because they're at this age and they're trying to accomplish stuff in their life. You know,
Right.
so for me, it was just like this was the accomplishment I was always trying to make, and that's the same with Evan, and same with Tiny, and same with Steve. So for me,
Perfect.
again, it didn't sound like the stuff we were doing either. You know, the new stuff's a little different. It's still heavy, still groovy, still metal, you know, but it was just a different expression, I think, that was coming out. And I think it just, you know, even the guys, you know, were saying at the studio, like Joe Duplanti was saying, and Taylor and Johan, they said, you know, like, you guys are evolving in front of us. It's, you know, and becoming
That's a compliment.
Yeah.
becoming this group. You know,
Right.
your sound is developing, and it's an original sound. So you should be a new band, you know.
That's awesome.
So that was, I think, the first moment we were like, you know, maybe that is something we should think about, you know.
So before you were kind of at the head of the bus driving the thing, people were hopping on and off over the course of years. This
Yeah.
is more of a cohesive
Yeah,
unit.
absolutely.
More equitable contribution, maybe.
Absolutely,
into
yeah.
everything that's going on.
More. I want to say like not just dedication,
Like
but
support, maybe. I feel like when you're in a
yeah,
band
much
where
more,
everyone
much more
cares
support
like
for
that.
sure.
Ownership,
Yeah,
maybe you call
yeah,
it, right? More
yeah.
sense of ownership.
Yeah, absolutely. You know,
Awesome.
and just you know, just like being like just watching out for each other a lot. You know, like you know, making sure we're all accountable for what we're doing.
Right.
Is another thing too. You know, we're always, you know, every member of this band right now is making sure that every other member is accountable for what they're doing. You know, the band started with Caym, started with a bunch of friends
Yes.
in a band. This band started as a bunch of musicians trying to accomplish something, and now we're becoming friends.
That's so good.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It's
You
a
know,
different route, you know. And we've had our ups and downs as individuals with each individual already because we're not long-term friends.
Yeah, you don't go back to.
We don't go
junior high
back
or something,
17
right?
years, you know.
Right,
We
right.
we go back a year and a half. Where you know, so the music is what brought us together, and we're learning and starting to fall in love with one each other, I guess.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So
That makes
romantic.
it-
So
is.
romantic.
So romantic.
beautiful.
Oh my god.
Decatur. oh.
Definitely rated R inside the van.
So let's talk about the New York experience. What part of the city were you in? Manhattan? Where was the
Brooklyn.
city?
Brooklyn.
You were in Brooklyn.
Oh, Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Right around this corner from where Jay-Z grew up.
Yeah, the Marcy
Wow.
Project.
Marcy Project.
About 10 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, I would be walking to Planet Fitness and I would be crossing. I'd be like, okay, down that way.
Yeah,
Very
it's
Jay-Z's old hood.
yeah.
And you're there how long?
A month for the first bit. We were there for pretty much all of February.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it was pretty intense, you know. Again, our friend Taylor hooked us up with a place to live while we were down there. So we
Fantastic.
saved our ass when it came to that. But I mean,
Because it's cold in New York in February.
freezing.
Well, no,
Is it
like,
worse
dude,
than
man.
here?
No.
Actually, we had
Here is
kind
so
of a
much
warm
worse.
February up
Man,
there.
I honestly feel like I skipped most of the winter. Like,
We
there were
actually
days
was
there
nice
where
for
I was
us.
walking around in a t-shirt. I was like, I would walk to the studio. I'd be like, this is amazing. Like,
You're
this
so
is the
Canadian.
first winter where I'm missing out. No, I'm not. I'm Canadian, but like, I am not. I hate snow.
Yeah.
If I never see snow again, it's too soon.
Dude, I'm with you. This place is too cold.
Yeah, it's freezing.
So you're going down there in February. January, you're rehearsing your faces off to get super tight.
Well,
Is
here,
that-
that's
Yeah.
another thing too. Is we were not expecting to go down there until mid-March,
And that was like, boom, early February.
Yeah.
It got
Oh
moved
my
up on
God.
you.
There you go. We
And,
got
and,
bumps.
and this was like, we really only made the agreement to go into the studio in late October. Really, we were on I had just booked us an East Coast tour, like all the way to Newfoundland and back. And we were had bitten off that, trying to get our drummer, who was not actually our drummer at the time, he was just filling in for us, Steve, to go do this tour. So we all were really like scrambling to do this tour, but again, in the music industry, there's like not really always like you have all this time in the world. It was just like, okay, like Joe's really busy. If you really want him to produce the record and you really want to come out here, like we're not sure. It's probably going to be like March 15th, maybe March 5th, like in that 10-day span. So we were like, okay, yeah,
Boom, February
we'll be
1st.
back from tour mid-November. We'll spend a couple weeks writing some tunes, and then we'll be able to come in here in like January, February, really lay the album out and just like make sure it's solid before we go in there. And then I think we were like, oh, we have time. We'll take December off for like relax. Just we had been working so hard, did so much touring in that last year. So we're like, oh, let's take a couple weeks off. And then during that break, is when I got the call, and it was like February 4th is you're
Oh
you're
my
coming
God.
in. So we had about six weeks, and I think we only had 3 songs at the
I
time.
don't remember how many songs we had.
3,
but-
yeah.
How many did they want you to come
10.
with? 10?
No, we wanted to do
You
10.
wanted to do 10.
Our goal was 10, and that was
And you
what
wanna probably
that
have
was the
15.
agreement that we made for financially too, to do
Right.
10.
To do 10 songs.
Yeah.
All right.
So we were pretty cut for time, but we pulled it off no problem.
Did you write 7 songs in between that? Like,
Yeah.
yeah?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Before you got to New York?
Yeah, I had a couple stuff in, again, like I always try to keep some songs in my back pocket that I work on while I'm not recording, So I brought those to the table, and Evan had a song that he had brought to the table, and Tiny had some arrangements that he had brought to the table, and I'm a very fast writer. Like I get into a mode where I can write very quickly. So like if these guys come to the table with an idea and say, hey, oh yeah, check this out, like I'll go home and write a song that night,
Nice, good.
and come back, and then we can dissect that song, and it'll turn out to be half a song, and then we'll
That's
grow
how it
more,
goes,
add
yeah.
another riff. Oh, here's a different riff I came up with, and okay, cool, let me see how that works, So, but in that about 6 weeks, yeah, we wrote the entire new album, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Very cool.
The album we're listening to tonight is called From Red to Black. Was that self-produced?
Yes. And produced by Greg Dawson, who is a great friend of mine, an amazing producer at BWC Studios. But
Where's that, Toronto?
it's actually in Brampton, but he's moving to Kingston now. So, but he's he's one of the best, definitely in Canada.
Stuff sounds great.
He's fantastic, and one of the greatest souls you'll ever meet in your entire life.
That's nice.
Greatest man. So he inspired me a lot and helped me a lot. Actually, during this album, and gave me a lot of confidence as an individual too at that time. So, but he helped. Yeah, we wrote everything. He helped us kind of shiny it up.
Nice.
How would you compare the recording experiences from that one to this one?
I think this one was a little more stressful.
Really?
I think it was a little more stressful for
Less
me.
time to go into it. I
Less
guess.
time that I had writing.
Feels like there'd be some pressure too working with those big
Yeah.
names. I'd feel a little
Yeah.
bit.
There was a lot of pressure, Me was not the pressure to work with Joe. I've worked with a lot of bigger acts, and I've worked for Anvil. I've worked with lots of guys. I've done lots of good stuff, and I always get a lot of pats on the backs and respect from these guys. But for me, it was a lot of pressure on showing that my buddy put his neck out for me for a
Right,
reason.
yeah.
That's a big step. To really say like my career could be on the line for vouching for this guy. The studio wasn't even Silvercord Studios is not even open yet. We were the first band ever, other than
Wow.
Gojira, to record our album there
Wow.
and complete the record there. So I mean, that's a big advantage, And there was a lot of help that they gave us just because we were not a signed band. We're not playing with record label money. You know, it's just coming out of the pocket. So, you know, there was a lot of money that we spent in there, but it was for a lot of, you know, good reason, and it came out amazing, more than amazing, better than we ever probably could have thought it would have come out. So
That's exciting.
yeah,
I'm excited to hear it.
Yeah.
So
It
it's
is
this
by
fall.
far the greatest amount of music we've written for sure to date.
Have you released the name of the album yet?
No,
Oh,
we don't
nice.
even know it.
Oh, okay. So we
Yeah.
can't even ask that. All
Yeah,
right.
we're working on that right now. We've had about 4 bajillion names, just like it took us months
Come up with
to
a
come up
band
with a
name.
band name. Yeah.
Did we ask them about Decatur? How'd you come up with Decatur? We kind of talked about it a little bit
We talked
before.
about it before.
Off
It's,
the air.
to us, what it is, it's the street we traveled each day to get to the studio. But really, there's like a war hero, guy from the Navy, William Decatur, who went like rogue.
Pretty much.
Yeah, he went rogue and just like Dirty Harry style, started killing like
For-
pirates off. What was it you said earlier? Like off the grid,
Off the reservation.
off the reservation. Yeah.
He was
Pretty metal.
He was a rebel.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah.
he was a metal pirate.
And the studio's on Decatur Street in
The
Brooklyn.
studio's
No,
right off of Decatur
yeah,
Street.
we took
so
Decatur Street to-
it would be like when we were trying to figure out how to get to the studio because we wouldn't all go at the same time every day. You know, it was like, oh, how do we get there? It's like, yo, just go to Decatur and just take the whole way and just until it ends and you'll find the studio. It's like there's a pizza place called Houdini's right on Decatur. So we're right around from that pizza place, right? So.
What was the grind, like 9 to 5? Get up in the morning?
No, it was like 4 p.m. till 5 a.m.
5 a.m.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, get
Rockstar.
That
Yeah.
does sound
man.
like
There's
vacation.
there was
Lot-
no windows in
And
this place.
Every day was the same thing. It was literally show up at 4 and the drinks would start by 6.
I gained
And,
like easy like 15 pounds. I came back for a funeral,
It was
and then I
bad.
couldn't even fit in my suit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
You
bad.
put on that much.
I put on a substantial amount
It
of
was a
poundage.
very weird, not weird schedule for us, but for other people would seem weird.
Well, it's a performing band. I mean, you're
we're
all
we're
night anyway, right?
5. Yeah, the 5
Yeah.
a.m.er is a very normal thing for
Oh
us.
yeah, we get home like we'll
7,
finish
8.
we finished playing gigs in Montreal like 3 a.m. and drove home
drive
after.
home back to Toronto.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's insane.
But we love it. It's just like, you know, I always say to people, you know, the things that our band is doing while you all sleep, like you don't even know. You know,
It's the vampire lifestyle.
It's the lifestyle that nobody even knows. You know, you accomplish so much when everybody's sleeping.
While everyone sleeps, we work.
It's tough working
It's a
a day
night
job
shift.
with that.
It's a
though,
night
right?
shift.
We did
I
it.
have a
We still do
very
it.
understanding company. You want landscaping, municipal maintenance.
I did
You
not.
hear that, Luciano? If you're listening.
Nice pitch. Nice
I
pitch.
do not have a very understanding company, so I just started my own company.
Oh, this is
Yes,
Wow.
yes. Your painting needs.
Now I'm a painter. Yeah.
Very cool. Very good.
Well, you start your own company. At least you get along with your boss.
Yeah, he doesn't get
Sometimes.
mad. He doesn't get mad when I show up late.
Yeah.
At least, you know. So, which is very common for me, apparently. You know.
So, what was the process? Drum track, bass track, build that way, or anything live off the floor? Anything crazy? Like
The
that?
promo, what was it? The pre-pro, it was all live off the floor. We
With
just took,
Chris Elliott.
Yeah, with Chris Elliott, great guy, really knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So
that we
what's
did
the
the.
pre-pro?
It was pretty much like recording the album before we went
Yeah,
and
it
did
was
the
just
album.
so we had something to give Gojira.
Live. Something for them to kind of clear, you know.
But then in the studio, it was drums.
Basic, oh yeah,
Guitars.
sound levels, and I guess for them to understand the song structure.
just to see where the
Yeah,
songs
just to
were
see,
going, you
so
know.
that we're not wasting their time.
Yeah, essentially.
completely.
Yeah, because they really didn't know who we were. And it was my friend really saying, "Look,
They
man."
probably heard Red the Black.
Yeah, they did.
I don't think they heard it until
They showed
after.
it until they were shown it.
Yeah, until after we became friends, you know. Like, you know, I don't think there was. It was more just taking Taylor's word that we were gonna come in and be one of the greatest metal bands.
I
So
can see why there was pressure.
there's a lot of
Yeah,
pressure, yeah, for that
definitely.
part, you know, especially with someone like Joe. He's a very like he's such a good soul. So you want to make him proud, you know, like, and that was one thing that, you know, with Taylor giving us that backing, you know, we really wanted to make him.
So you
both
could have
proud.
called the album "Thanks Taylor." I'm sure that was.
It might be Vinny Boombots because that's like our nickname for him. But yeah, it might be it. Yeah,
Cool.
Evan, had you had studio experience before? Had you done any recording?
Very, very minimal. This was a big deal for me.
I'm sure it was. How did you
Yeah.
find it? Was it stressful?
Yeah. Yes. But no, it was cool, man. Like, I went in, like, I went in and, I don't know, like, laid it down and there were some ups and downs, right? But, it all worked out in the end, right? Thankfully.
Yeah.
Some things that you struggled with. Some things that you.
Yeah, absolutely. There was like, I came out a better player, easily. There were certain things I went in and I was like, okay, like, okay, good, like, next take, right? And there were other things that I was like, whoa, man, this is something totally new for me, right? But it was cool. It's all good.
Definitely makes you a better player.
Yeah.
Studio doesn't let you hide very well.
Yeah, definitely
Right?
not.
It shows you every single
Mistake.
Yeah.
You know, and somebody else always hears something different, and just sometimes they're telling you you're making a mistake, you can't even hear it. So
That's always
Or something
It's hard
that you
to
might have
correct
thought
that,
was
you know?
good.
Yeah.
You know, something you might have thought was good. They're saying,
we got
No!
we got a lot we got a lot of copy paste and delete.
oh man,
A
yeah,
bunch of
yeah,
deletes.
yeah.
Next take.
I remember. Oh yeah.
Next take. Yeah.
And the problem is, it's the permanent record.
That's
So
the
even
reality, right?
If there's even if this is a slight
Do you
thing
want
on
to
it,
just let
you
it go?
hear it every time.
Every time.
Yeah.
And you'll get to the point where you hate the song.
Absolutely.
Because it's just maybe one little thing.
The
Yeah,
reality
there's
is.
like, there's
ahead.
certain takes that wound up on the album that I'm like, oh, what if we use the other take? You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, but it was decided then and there, like, no, this is the one. But then you always have that sort of second guessing in the back of your head.
Yeah.
I guess that's normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, when you're growing in the studio, it's tough to, you're making the best moment decision, and we really surrounded ourselves with a team, not so much on like From Red to Black or the stuff before, was really just us kind of making decisions, and on From Red to Black, Greg Dawson was kind of giving us a little bit of a hand, but this time around was like multiple people giving us advice,
And not your buddies. So they wouldn't
Yeah,
be afraid
not
to
your
say, you got
buddies.
to do that again.
Yeah.
Or
Not just
Oh,
not
yeah.
our buddies, but guys that you can't really contest somebody who's playing in front of 500,000 people every single day of his life.
Right.
What are you going to say? You're going to say,
You don't know what you're talking about.
yeah, there's no way. He knows what he's talking
They're pretty
about.
trustworthy opinions.
Yeah, his opinion is pretty ironclad. So, I mean, for us, that was, I think I was like learning how to maneuver through that. It was, I'm very used to that. I've done it many times, so I was lucky for that, So
Yeah.
I'm used to having to fly on the tail of whatever's happening, So, but recording's a completely different animal than playing by yourself or playing live or to a click track or,
Totally.
we're human beings, and there's nothing on our album that was created on a board. There's no whatever you hear on our new record was literally played by us.
Yeah.
So as a human, you're not a computer. You're not completely perfect. So you have to learn to find each other to be perfect, to make it sound perfect.
Yeah, I think it's the principle of good enough.
Yeah.
Too, right? You have to be ready to accept it when it's.
Yeah. Is that at the
Yeah.
level?
It's good.
And is it good? Yeah.
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 You maybe could squeeze more perfect out of it,
Yeah.
possibly. And I feel for the drummer in those situations because he has to be as close to perfect as maybe
He's the
anybody
only
does.
one really that has to be the closest to perfect.
Right.
Everybody else can kind of drift
Yeah,
here and
yeah.
there because
And
the sound wall becomes so big at the end that you get hit. You get a little bit of hiding,
Right.
But the drummer and then the first guitar that goes down, those are the ones that got to be pretty on point.
And especially music where the drum's very often at the very center of it, right? The fast kick drum beats and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Well, on our new record, our drummer is a much more what should I say? Like much more fulfilled. He fills lots more space with stuff.
I thought you were gonna say something else.
Yeah, and we had to go back. Even he finished the record, and we went back and listened to the record at our place that we were staying in Brooklyn, and we still had him there for a couple of days, and we decided to change like 16-20% of the record and go back and pull stuff and make it different because it was just like you get used to hearing something, and then we really wanted a bigger palette on this record instead of it just being intense all the time, or we really wanted to have times to bring back and bring forward and make it heavy and
Not the
soft.
straight-
dynamics.
Yeah, instead of just
important.
killing
It's
it
important,
for
yeah.
40 minutes, we wanted to really bring songwriting back to metal because we feel like it's a little bit
Yeah,
missing
For
in
sure,
metal
melody
today.
and groove are
want
often
the- we
missing
wanna
from
bring
metal.
back the
It's just an
Metallica-
assault on your ears a lot of times.
Yeah, and we're not really that band, We don't
No.
want to be, and that's why we're not like an whatever metal band. We're just a metal band because we play metal riffs but
Yeah.
it's songs. Like we've
Yes.
written real songs that hopefully people can remember or have as a favorite. That's my favorite song, And that's
Yeah,
what
I
the
think
goal
That's
is.
my favorite.
I don't know if
riff,
I've ever heard
you
anyone
know?
say that's my
No,
favorite
in the
Whitechapel
last like
song.
5 years,
Like, yeah.
like it's like everything now is like I
Have
don't
you heard
even
of this
know.
band? Have you
It's
heard
all
of this band?
it's
They're
all
so crazy. They're so heavy.
Yeah.
It's
that's
like
so
there's no
true.
more riffs. It's
like,
not
what
like
about-
riff-based music. It's all like lead-based, whatever. Like I don't even know what you call it.
Like what era
You know?
now are people going like? Have you heard like the equivalent of like what Ride the Lightning for Metallica.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't
you know,
know,
you're
man.
not,
I
people
don't
aren't
know.
talking about albums anymore, you know? The last album maybe someone talked to me about might have been Ashes of the Wake by Lamb of God. That was maybe the last real songwriting metal album that happened in the last 15 years, like for the new era of metal, you know? So it's
Because technical proficiency became the thing, right?
How fast can you
It was
play?
always in metal. It was
And it
always
becomes
there.
It's always about being fast, but
it became so boring.
Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah,
can
now-
play faster than everybody.
Right.
And
It's
everybody can
so
be
not about the songs,
lower
I find
tuned
now.
than everybody and more strings than everybody. But who could pick up a guitar in a standard tuning and just play some tunes and still be heavy?
That's another
what
thing we do.
That's
Standard
the
tuning.
skill.
we play in standard
There's this
tuning.
thing called E standard tuning.
Yeah, it's
kids.
called- yeah.
E standard tuning.
We don't play in drop A
Yeah.
or
Drop Q.
Yeah,
you don't.
The
drop,
jet-
drop 7. No, we don't play in these tunings. We play in just like standard tuning.
Like out of the box.
Yeah, just like
Yeah.
right out of the box. You know,
Impressive.
drop D standard tuning. That's it, man.
Did you see the YouTube of the auditions that Dream Theater held to replace Mike Portnoy?
I
No, I don't think
It's
so.
worth looking up.
Okay.
Because you think, all right, Portnoy's pretty hard to
did.
replace.
Yeah.
Oh,
I saw this.
there's about a
Ran through
million.
guys,
Yeah.
a million guys
Yeah.
just as fast.
Kill it, yeah.
Just killing
Absolutely.
it. I thought,
Yeah.
oh my goodness.
I
How did I choose?
have about 50 friends that could be the biggest artists in the world that will never be the biggest artists in the world just because they're just doing everything everybody else is so good. You know, there's that many good dudes out there. You
Yes.
know? So
I like Mike Mangini, who replaced him.
amazing.
Super fast.
Yeah, super. Yeah. And his drum tone's a little bit better. You know, love the Portnoy toms, but Mangini's on it, man. You know. So,
Really?
Who's the dude from Meshuggah?
I don't know.
I'm on a Meshuggah binge lately.
Yeah.
The last like
He
2
is.
week.
He's
That's
just
good.
been turned on to Meshuggah.
I've just been turned on to Meshuggah. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Guys, we are almost out of time. We're going to go out of here with, we have several to choose from. We have Corvus lined up, but is there something else that you wanted to finish the show off with?
Like a song?
Yeah.
Let the archer choose.
I don't know. I would almost rather hear Rocky Mountain
Yeah, Rocky
than,
Mountain's a good
than
one.
Corvus.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll go
But
with
I'm not
Rocky
sure
Mountain.
Rocky Mountain is a.
We've edited
it's
it. We've
edited.
edited
Okay.
the ending.
Okay,
We've
yeah.
edited
All right,
the-
then we're all right.
Taylor, our
Thank
editor,
Taylor,
Yeah.
Taylor,
Thank you,
producer.
Yeah,
Taylor.
you're welcome.
Taylor has readied it for.
As you can see, it says
Chop
Rocky
House,
Mountain
Chop
Bear.
And then it says MP3 cut.
MP3
cut.
House. So before we sign off, let's talk a little about, again, where people can find your music and if you're doing any gigs, where.
Threat Signal this Friday, Hamilton.
Yeah, we're
Be there.
playing. We're on our final tour right now. We're doing Threat Signal and Hamilton Club Absinthe on Friday.
This is going to be a packed night if you guys can make it out.
July 1st in Montreal. We'll be at Club Piranha. I think on the 15th we'll be in Sudbury at the Asylum, and then the 27th is that
27th?
Oshawa. 28th.
29th. July 29th is Oshawa.
July 29th, Oshawa.
Canada is
HCA.
Montreal. Did you already
The
say
30th,
Montreal?
yes, at Montreal. 30th is Cornwall.
Are you guys playing in Toronto coming up? Or-
Yeah, August 6th.
August 6th, the
August
funeral.
6th,
That's the
funeral.
Cherry
funeral.
Colas.
Funeral.
Cherry
Oh,
Cola.
really?
At Cherry
Yeah, get there,
Colas,
get there.
yeah. And just if anybody is listening for any news for the show, there's going to be some reunion coming up for the show. So some of the old members are going to be coming back
Oh, that's
Cherry
cool.
Cola.
to Cherry Colas
You guys have a
to
big
play.
sound for Cherry Cola. You're going to expand the.
We
you're
did
gonna
our
bend the
we,
windows at the front.
we
of
did
that
our
car.
From Red to Black album CD release there before we did our full Canadian tour. So we just figured it was a good place to end
Cool.
it. Yeah.
Very nice.
Cherish, she's a really awesome bar owner. She's super wicked.
She's super nice. I
And,
used to do the door there. I used there a lot.
Yeah, and we're also doing it for the Canadian Music Therapy Trust Fund as a. It's really like we're only selling 100 tickets to the show, but all the proceeds that we make from that are going to go to the Canadian Music Therapy Trust Fund.
Oh, nice.
So-
Very cool.
Good for you.
Yeah, figured we we've been playing Toronto for a long time, and Canada's been really good to us for the Caym sound and helping us out going all around coast to coast. So if we can give anything back, we'd love to.
That's terrific. It's a great sentiment.
Yeah.
Really been great having you guys.
Thank
Yeah,
you
it's been
so
fun.
much for
It's
having
been
us.
fun.
Yeah,
No, it's
we've
a
had a
pleasure
great
that
time.
People so passionate, committed to what they do. It's,
Thank you
that's
very
course,
much,
thank you, man.
real pleasure.
and vice versa.
Thank you.
So you've been listening to ArtsTalk on 102.7 Chop FM with Dave Peters.
And Taylor Cross.
And who we have next week, Taylor?
Oh, next week is I don't know. I'm sorry.
This is Booker.
Just follow us on Facebook and you'll find out. How about that? It'll be a surprise for
There you go. We've been in conversation with Jay Serzan and Evan Archer from Caym, soon to be Decatur, and we're going to go out with a Caym tune off of From Red to Black. This is Rocky Mountain Bear Bleep. On 102.7 Chop FM.
Join the Nerds of the North as DJ Padawan and DJ Bodobo discuss, reminisce, and rant about movies, games,